a live stream, you guys have come out in full force and supported me, supported my friends, and it truly is a fellowship and a family. And I can't thank you guys enough. So thank you for a wonderful 2023 in the chat. So, and speaking
Max
of
is
which,
being very
yeah,
nice.
go ahead.
I was gonna say Max is being very nice right now, being like, "Oh, thank you, chat." I'm gonna be that guy that's like, "Look, we're fucking cooler than Ryan Seacrest, so your asses better be here." Okay, there you go.
I mean, to be fair, what would you rather be watching? Ryan Seacrest at like the New Year's Eve ball drop thing, or Max's man cave? Come on, let's be real.
Max's man, despite the name, Ryan Seacrest show was more gay.
How in the world? How I perplexes me how that could be. What year was it? Was it last year where the flossing kid got up on stage at the New Year's ball drop and he was like, "Come on, guys, floss with me," and no one did it, and it was extremely awkward and just terrible.
I think it's been a few years. I think it was the same year that song came out, wasn't it?
So maybe. I guess it was a few years ago
Like
then.
the
Dang.
Katy Perry, wasn't it the Swish Swish Bish song?
Maybe.
Whatever that.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I don't want to. The only reason why I'd remember it is because it's so funny. But yeah. Speaking of chat, Cajun Corey, Happy New Year to you, my brother. Brian Micklick, Happy New Year, brother. Ben Cordwell, Happy New Year, my friend. Hey, and those books that you read look fantastic, man. I may have to get some of those myself. Virtue Comics, Abomination AJ, what's happening, brother? Good to see you, man. Fear Monarch, Mark McGrath, thank you all so much for being here, and Happy New Year to all of you guys. So, to start off, I have an announcement, and I will probably make the announcement as the evening goes on. But the big news that I've been hiding for the past probably 2-3 weeks that my members actually
You
saw
finally got a girlfriend.
first and
You
foremost.
finally got a girlfriend.
That won't happen for a while.
You finally
Josh.
got a girlfriend.
And we know that that's going to be a boyfriend, right? So no.
well, you do live in California, so
yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's true. That's true. If I want to have
Their
any
pronouns
luck, I might
are
have to
they,
switch
them.
things. Oh yeah, so then I guess it could go either way, right? So then I could, or if I change mine, maybe I'll have better luck with. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? But no, that is not the news, unfortunately. Is this cooler? Like, if I got a girlfriend, would that be better news than what I'm about to drop?
No, because
this
then
is
it'd be like,
pretty
oh fuck. Well, because then it would be like, hey guys, I don't know if I'm gonna do Max's man cave tonight. Something came up. We're like, oh yeah, something named Alicia.
Yeah.
Sorry guys. Tina's taking me out to dinner tonight, so I can't do Max's man cave. Yep.
Yeah, you don't want to be Kyle. All right, so yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's very true. Whipped. No. So the fun and exciting news that I have to drop for you guys this evening is I have created a brand new channel called Maximus Prime. If you guys go onto YouTube and you search Maximus Prime 40K or just Maximus Prime, you will find this lovely avatar of me as a Space Marine. And this has been in the works for, like I said, the past 2 or 3 weeks now. It's only got about 17 videos up, but so far they've been doing great. I'm almost at 100 subs, and I am looking forward to seeing where this channel goes, and hopefully it can grow into something really cool. But I figured this channel can stay with a lot of pop culture and comic book news, and then that way I can divide my Warhammer stuff into solely like a completely separate channel. So if you guys haven't already, please go subscribe to Maximus Prime or Maximus Prime 40K, and you guys will get videos and shorts every week. Right now, I've been publishing quite a few, and they're a lot of fun to make. I got to tell you, it's great. So, but yeah, I will plug it later on in the stream once again, just for people who may hop in later. But this is going to be my next little baby, so I'm excited to have some fun with that. But because yeah, Josh, Drew, do you guys know anything about 40K?
Aren't there like Space Marines or something?
Colonial Marines, is that
Colonial Marines? Yeah, they're Colonial Marines, right?
Yeah, something like that. So, Cajun, thank you so much,
I
man.
know very. I was gonna say I know very little. Very very little. Yeah, I know very little. We'll put it that way.
That's okay. Well, hopefully by subscribing to the channel, you'll learn much more about, about the
I will
40K
say, Max,
universe.
you did like a video stream, like Warhammer subject matter for dummies, like a different race for dummies or whatever. Just like every some short, like I don't know, 2, 5, 10-minute videos explaining races, dumbed down for people like me. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's what the goal is now. I don't know if I will necessarily do like from beginning of like, okay, if you're just starting out in the hobby, this is who the Emperor is, or this is what a Space Marine is. I may do something like that, but for the most part, this is going to be kind of lots of individual lore that I can parcel out in like easily digestible videos. I won't be doing something like 6 hour long live streams about any of this stuff. I think what I'll probably do is just try and break it down into, like I said, bite size information. But there are so many other channels that have done those videos where it's like, who is the Emperor, or like, what is a Space Marine? And they just knock it out of the park. So I'm trying to get like some other stuff in there that maybe other channels may not have covered yet. We'll see. Heresy for dummies. What is this heresy you talk about? I'm a man of the Imperium, which apparently, what's his name? Shoot, Rebel Moon. Zack Snyder just
Well,
copied
Zack Snyder.
his, yeah, and Rebel Moon. You just watched that movie, didn't you, Josh?
Oh
Yes. No. Oh,
your robot Max. You cut out. Uh-oh. Say it
oh,
again.
sorry. I said you just watched Rebel Moon, didn't you? Rebel Moon.
I did. It was boring
Thoughts?
as fuck.
Oh, come on, all the slow mo.
Oh, I mean, some of the action was okay, some of it wasn't. Like typically, I can say at least cinematography wise, his films look good. A lot of this didn't look good. It was clear he didn't have the budget that he needed. Oh, I froze too. Whoops. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
you're good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was just you can tell that there's stuff that Zack Snyder thinks is like deep and like, oh, this is gonna like so many people are gonna like see this and they're like it's gonna blow their mind, and then it happens and you're like, wait, was this the moment he was talking about? Like I saw this coming from a mile away, man. Like, okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the consensus that I got, even from some of the video or some of the stills of the film that I was looking at. I was like, I feel like this is a conglomeration of like everything else I've seen before, which is not necessarily a bad thing because, like, look at, I mean, Warhammer 40K, for example, is a conglomeration of lots of different sci-fi and fantasy elements, but it seems like Rebel Moon was very generic to the extent to where it was like not only boring, but almost like offensively generic. I don't know, but salty,
It also
yes.
didn't know what it.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say it also just didn't know what it wanted to be. Like you could tell it started off as the Star Wars pitch that he had for Star Wars.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
it was like, well, let's make it kind of like this project and let's throw a little bit of this in here. And it was such an identity crisis that not good.
And none of the characters really got a chance to develop either, is what I'm assuming.
Again, there was stuff that you could tell he thought was like critical, like edgy. This is gonna like really impact people, and it just didn't.
Yeah. Well, maybe on the next 3 hour Snyder cut that we get, right? When everyone's like, "Oh, release the next Snyder cut," and it's like, come on! I mean, how many times can we release a Snyder cut? But before it's like, listen, he's gotten his vision, he's gotten everything, he's gotten the budget, he's had everything he needs, It's got all the cuts he wants. I mean, like, what are we waiting for at this point? So I don't know. I will say that many other directors have not gotten the opportunities that he has. He has gotten plenty of opportunities to showcase his talent. So, salty, yes, it is just I and these wonderful members of my panel. So, but it's just little old me. Yeah. Ben, for the Amazon 40K series stuff, I don't know if I will cover that on the MVP channel or if I will cover that on Maximus Prime. I'm still, because the Amazon series is still in its infancy, there really hasn't been a lot of news other than just it's being made. We don't know if it's a show. We don't know if it's a movie. We don't know what character. We don't know what storyline. We don't know who the producers are. We don't know who's writing it. Like zero. We just know it's happening. And we know that Henry Cavill's involved. That's about it. So because of that, I really can't say for sure what channel fits that information better, if that makes sense. So, but I will most likely talk about it. My fear, Ben, is that it ends up like Rings of Power and I have to bash it, which is what I don't want to do. In which case I will have to probably put it on this channel, whereas Maximus Prime will just be, you know what, let's just stick to the cool shit, you know? Let's not touch the Amazon. Let's not touch Amazon.
But you know, I mean, we've seen from Henry Cavill with everything that he's said, you know, even when it came to The Witcher, we all know how much of a catastrophe that turned into, but he's someone who respects who respects the lore. And that should give you, I should think, hope, you know, as opposed to someone like J.J. Abrams coming aboard as Superman. Like, I feel, honestly, I'm not a fan of Warhammer. I'm more comfortable with Henry Cavill taking over Warhammer as I am compared to I'm sorry, not J.J. Abrams. I'm sorry. What the hell's his name?
Rian Johnson?
James Gunn.
James Gunn. There we go. James Gunn taking over Superman or the DC universe. I'll say that.
Yeah. And that's fair. Like that's, you know, it's scary because what happened with Rings of Power? You had Thomas Shippey on, like, the Tolkien scholar on the project, assigned to the project, because when they bought the Tolkien like estate rights, he came over and was like working with them, and then they fired him. They literally fired him from the project because Jennifer Salke was at the head of everything. So if they're going to make Jennifer Salke a producer on this, they will fuck Henry Cavill in the ass more than they did Rings of Power, because Warhammer 40K is inherently a masculine male hobby. And I know it's going to ruffle some feathers, but it just is. And so they will get rid of him, or they will shit on him like they did in Witcher so much that he will want to leave. And so that's my fear, is that if they don't get the right people, or if the wrong people are at the top, it'll turn out like Rings of Power. So even though Henry Cavill's name is attached, it still doesn't give me the hope that I would be reassured.
Yeah, I think the other question, but how much power or how much say does Cavill have? That's the other question.
That's the thing. It's like, is he the head producer, or is he an executive? You know, is he just funding this? Because he has probably a lot of money from his superhero or his Superman days, so he's probably funding the project. But is he going to be making the decisions? We'll see. Yeah, they fired Shippey, got rid of him, and had people with zero experience. Well, not only zero experience, Salty, they had multiple scripts that they were writing for Bad Reboot, and not one of them went through. Not one of them got made. Now, granted, I understand that is the Hollywood process. You write tons and tons and tons of scripts until finally one gets through. But these guys were at that production company, at Bad Reboot, and didn't have a script go through. So it's like, that's got to tell you something, right? So anyway, that's just more of, was that 2022? Yeah, Rings of Power, I think, was 2022. But damn, here we are.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was, because it would have been on everyone's lists this year as one of the worst. It had to. I mean, it would have been on mine. So
It just it wasn't that long ago. That's what's so wild about it.
Yeah, it really did feel
Maybe it
like
was
it just took up the entire year.
Was it the end of 2022?
It could have been.
Yeah, could have been.
I thought it was like September 2022 because I remember being in school. Yeah, September 20.
September 1st, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they released it on the fucking date of Tolkien's death. You dipshits. What are you doing? Yeah, Rings of Power makes me so angry. Like other ones I can laugh at, but Rings of Power makes me angry. Yeah. It was on September 1st in the UK, September 2nd here in the US, which was Tolkien's birthday. So
sad horn noises.
Yeah, boo, boo, whamp, whamp. Anyway, speaking of news in 2022, 2023, and now 2024, how do you guys feel about the list that we're getting here from films that are, and this is just this now, granted, these are just like big name films that are going to be coming out in 2024, but is there really anything that you guys can think of that's like that sticks out to y'all? Like, is there something here that you're really like, you know what, I will be in the theaters for that?
Deadpool and Joker. Deadpool and Joker.
No way.
I know. I'm an easy leg. I'm an easy leg.
I'm an easy leg.
Yeah, look, you get Hugh Jackman in the Wolverine costume and James Marsden in the Cyclops costume in the 90s. I'm there. You got me.
Agreed.
All right. That's all it takes. And I'll be there. Now, in the Joker, I like the first film. I'll be there to check out the second one. It sounds interesting. As for the rest, yeah.
Oh man, you're giving way too much credit. Josh, what about you, brother? Anything on here that you're going to be in theaters for?
Let's be honest. I've said this before, but I have the AMC A-list pass, so I'm probably going to be in the theater for pretty much all of these.
That's true.
Just to take it in. Is there anything I'm super excited about? I mean, like Argyle looks like it could be fun, but I don't, I don't expect it to like rock my world. Deadpool 3, I'm actually looking forward to. I'm having hope that it'll at least be a fun movie.
They got you too. All right.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the same people that worked on Deadpool 2. They're kind of letting Ryan have his creative freedom. It could be a good time, and if they let him do his thing, he's going to have some Disney jokes, and God knows we need it. But I'm also on board for Joker. Even though I will be the first person to say that first film that is not the Joker, I will say it's still a really good film. And this is probably going to be the best take of Harley Quinn that we ever get in live action.
Absolutely.
Wow. As a musical, eh? And it will still be
the musical aspects are supposed to be like musical therapy. So we'll see.
Not necessarily musical theater.
I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be a scene where it's how someone depicts something, but
yeah.
Man.
I'm
trying to. He's like how he's kind of basing the structure off of another 70s film too. So I need to go back and look up and see what film it is, but yeah.
So the only one I will agree with you guys on is Argyle. I think Argyle looks good. I think it looks promising. I will most likely, I don't know if I will watch it in the theaters, but that is one that I do want to actually see, that I'm like anticipating.
So question about Argyle. Is that about Argyle from Die Hard, the limo driver? Are you getting his origin story?
Oh, that would, you know what? I would watch that movie. That dude is dope as hell. I love Argyle. Yeah. What does he say? He's like at the beginning of the movie, he's like, so what, man? Tell me more about yourself. Like, you a cop or something? He's like, you ask a lot of questions, Argyle.
Yeah.
No, that was
conversation.
Yeah, so dang good. So no, this is it's a totally new property. Maybe I think it's based on a book potentially. Chat, you guys may know more, but Argyle is probably the only one on here that I'm fairly interested in. My fear though is right here. Salty nailed it. They probably are marketing this as Cavill is like the head. but it's actually going to be the Phoebe Waller-Bridge effect, where it's like mainly going to be Bryce Dallas Howard for like 90% of the film, and then just a few like Henry Cavill moments, which would be,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
to be fair, Bryce Dallas Howard and Sam Rockwell are listed as the leads. Like they're the two leads. Like those are the characters you're following. So
yeah. And we're seeing the story through their eyes. So I understand that Bryce Dallas Howard has to have a large, play because she's writing these books,
Oh,
But,
wait a minute. Now I remember, Salty just mentioned it had Romancing the Stone vibes to it. Like, yes, now I have seen that trailer. Now it is ringing a bell with Sam Rockwell, where he had the beer in the beginning and then they're jumping around and doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, this is like Romancing the Stone, or another film that he did with another woman, where he's a spy undercover. It's I don't want to say it's getting tired, but it's just I've seen this before.
Dude, a lot of these are getting tired. Because look, a lot of these are Kung Fu Panda 4. No movie needs a fourth installment. I'm sorry, but like we're
getting Gladiator 2, Max. You should be ecstatic. We're getting Gladiator 2.
Oh, Jesus.
This time it's personal.
To let you know how much I am like not even have that in my sphere, you said Kung Fu Panda 4, and I'm like, where the fuck is that on this list? That's not on the list. Where did you see that at? Top row. It's the freaking top row.
It's top row, dude. Yeah. They're starting the year off strong. They're like Kung Fu Panda. It's Kung Fu Panda. Because it's gonna be shit. No, I'm kidding.
Kung Fu you.
Kung Fu you. I really don't know anything about Kung Fu Panda. The fact that it's number 4, it's like, come on. Bad Boys 4, Furiosa, the movie that no one fucking asked for. Like, come on.
10 years after the Mad Max 4 came out, yeah, good timing for that.
Yeah. I don't know. So go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm curious. I'm not saying I'm excited. I'm curious to see Twisters.
Watch it. What the hell is Twisters?
You don't
the
know
sequel to Twister.
The sequel to Twister. Have you not seen the movie Twister?
With
3.
Bill
Paxton? 3. I don't know what these movies. You guys are old.
Listen.
Helen Hunt. Come on.
Listen, chat. So I've joked with Max that because there's so many movies that he needs to see that he hasn't seen, and some TV shows, that I'm gonna start a cherry popped show on my channel where we get Max to watch these things. So if you like the idea of that, make sure you comment so we can convince him to do it, because we need to pop his cherry on a few of these things.
Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Carrie Elwes. There's some stars in that movie.
Wow, that's a star-studded cast. Yeah, I love it. Well, yeah, no. So I've not seen the original Twister, so I don't know what that is. But Lady G, good evening to you, and Happy New Year, Lady G. Hope you're doing well. We're just talking about 2024's initial list of some of the big films that are coming out. Not surprised by Josh's take. Damn.
Listen, I blatantly said I'm not saying I'm excited. I just said I'm curious for the reason that it's not great. Although one of the best costumes I ever saw was someone had made what was the name of the device, Drew, that they made?
Oh, it was Dorothy?
Dorothy. Yeah. Someone was Dorothy and someone was a tornado, and then there were a bunch of people as cows, and they started running around.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I need to find that and send it to y'all.
That
sounds like I really will love Twisters then, huh? Anyway, I will say, Argyle, looking forward to it. Dune, I'm actually very much looking forward to as well. I thought the first one was beautiful. The cinematography was extravagant and yet realistic. It was perfectly filmed. The costume designs, the production designs, everything looked fantastic. It's like what I would want if 40K did a film. So Dune 1 was great.
The question is with the Dune, it's like, because the Dune 1 and 2, these films have been financially, not huge, it cost them a lot. So the big question is, are they going to be able to recoup their money from the second one? I don't think the first one broke even.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, now Dune is not. We're not talking 300 million like the Marvels, right? Dune,
Yeah.
we're talking about something probably like 150,
Yeah, probably
right?
what we did 200, I think, right around there.
I don't know, because I thought that first movie was fairly cheap for what they did, which was why everyone was so surprised that it was, it did so well. But yeah, it is kind of it's a hard franchise to really like get people behind because it's not a superhero, it's not a blockbuster, it's not a Barbenheimer type deal. It is kind of a niche thing. I'm not sure. I
Yeah.
don't know. But and
So
then
it says
go
its
ahead.
budget, at least for the first film, was 165,
Oh.
and it made 402, so it did all right.
Oh,
okay,
okay.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I was wrong. I thought it didn't break even. Okay, never mind. You're good. Carry
Drew's just like, carry on, don't mind me.
on.
The only other thing, Joker, the first film, though I agree with you, Josh, it's not Joker from the comics. The film is brilliant, and I think it's
Yeah.
maybe one of my favorite films of all time. It's just it's very, very well done. So the fact that we're getting a second one, no matter how good the second one is, I just don't think we need it, right? Like so much of this stuff is just corporatized, the studio saying, we need more money. Joker made $1 billion, make a second one.
I mean,
And
yeah, Max. I mean, it's hard to argue. Your film costs what, 70 million to make, and you make over $1 billion. It's like you kind of need a sequel.
and that's the frustrating
Yeah.
part. It's like, come on. Especially
Granted,
when, yeah.
I was just gonna say, I'll be curious to see what the commentary is for, like there's a clear commentary in that first film, and I'm kind of curious to see what they bring to the table with this one, especially considering the climate of things right now.
Yeah, that is a good point. Lady G, have a great end of 2023. Say hello to the family for me, and love you. Congrats on getting Gary's video out today. It was fantastic. So thank you for everything that you do for this fellowship. But yeah, no, Joker could bring in some interesting commentary. I actually did enjoy the commentary that was put into the first Joker film. It really makes you think, and it's as Fear said, it's super visceral. But yeah, I don't know, man. Joker, folie et Dieu, seems a little pretentious, if I'm being honest. And then the other one that I would say that I'm interested. I don't know if I'm excited, but I'm interested. Is The Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rohirrim, strictly because I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. I've heard mixed things. I've heard some people saying that this is going to be a beautiful depiction of Rohan and what happened while they had left Edoras and went to go fight at Minas Tirith, and how the Shield Maidens protected Edoras while the men were away. That could be an interesting story. The only thing is, are they going to make it 2023 women fighting in Edoras, or are they going to make it Tolkien's, women fighting at Edoras? Who knows? It's going to be nerve wracking, to say the least. So
Who's directing it?
that I don't know. They said, I think in one article I remember they had said that they were going to try and bring back some of the original voices, and maybe some of the original producers of the first 3 films. But I don't know if that can be guaranteed.
Oh, so it's animated?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
And this is what does give me hope, Salty, is that it is a Japanese director. So
yeah, that could be really good then.
yeah. The only thing is potentially the writer that could jack this whole thing up. So the animation could be beautiful, but with poor writing, we may not get what we're looking for. So yeah, but I mean, for the most part, I look at this list and it makes my head hurt, and that's not good. Oh, go ahead, Josh. You saying?
I'm offended that you guys are not excited to watch Craven the Hunter about Craven who is an animal pacifist and hunts poachers instead of animals.
You mean
How dare you?
You mean Craven the Hunter, who gets his powers from the blood of a lion dripping into his
I mean,
eyeball?
yes,
Bruh.
but
That's-
the fact that you're not excited to see Craven the Hunter, we're not going to kill the lions. Really, I'm a little unhinged right now.
Oh,
I
dude.
need to take a moment.
I was unhinged
Yeah.
after that trailer to the film. I'll say that.
When you
It looks
said
so bad.
oh, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
And I honestly think the casting is wrong. I do like that actor, but the casting is wrong. You need like a 40-year-old dude who's like
Yeah.
massive, not
You
like
need
some
someone
hot.
who's a little more manly.
Absolutely. I really like him as Quicksilver, but he's this like handsome young, he's not a
Pretty
twink,
boy.
but
Yeah.
he's a pretty boy, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. He could be cast for thousands of other things, but not Craven.
No.
Craven, you almost kind of need like a grizzled.
I mean, I would picture Jeffrey Dean Morgan from like circa like The Watchmen, like 2010, 2009.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, you need someone who's got a jawline, someone who looks a little bit more haggard, but yeah. But yeah, Josh, when you were like, guys, wait, time out. Are we not excited for Craven? I 100% thought you were going to say Madam Web, because that.
Oh, look, Sony needs to stop making Spider-Man movies unless it's animated.
They just need to stop making movies in general. Because like Venom,
Terrible.
3. I mean, I hated Venom 1 and 2. So why are we making Venom 3? It's like, ugh.
Anytime someone tries to justify Venom in any way possible, I'm like, fuck you and your terrible taste. You need to shut the fuck up. Like, we can't
And
take you seriously right now. Just sit down and shut up.
Thank you, Josh. I love that. And guys, this is coming from the guy who liked Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So like, that Venom sucks. If that's the take. So, and I'm just not going to acknowledge you said anything. But I will acknowledge our main man, Derpy Hoggington, for $5. He says, "Hey guys, love you so much. Super hammered right now. Fuck yeah, dude." He says, "I wish you and the chat a happy freaking New Year. Y'all are the best, and hail everyone." Dude, a cheers to you. Thank you, Derpy. That is very kind of you. Here, let's get some applause in here. Thank you, Derpy. Hail to you, sir. You are the best. Thank you for the super chat. And hey, well, be safe, my man. If you are drinking tonight, be safe. And oh my goodness, he comes in with another $5. Derpy, be careful. Be careful, my man. When you drink and you've got your wallet out, it gets a little crazy. But he says, "Where's Kyle? Where's my shining beacon in the darkness? Hail Kyle." Wow. Kyle, if you're here, I don't, if you're watching, that's pretty high praise, my man. He says, "Anyway, Max, Drew, and Josh wish you guys the best 2024. Drunk super chat number 2. Amen. You know what? I appreciate it, brother. And since we've been talking a little bit about Lord of the Rings tonight and Rings of Power, let's play you something for 2023. Hail to you, Derpy. Cheers, my man. Drink up. Skål. Yeah, actually, last year, Josh, for my birthday, got me a Viking drinking horn that I still have. So I sometimes indulge whenever I'm drinking some adult beverages. So, Happy New Year, brother. Great to see you, John. Thank you for being here, my man. And yeah, Kyle. So speaking of which, Derpy, Kyle was supposed to hop on. We'll see. He may be here, but I can't promise anything. This was just kind of a last minute stream that I wanted to put together. So we'll see if he hops in.
Yeah, he's had a stomach bug the past few days. So yeah, we'll see how he's feeling.
Oh, bummer. I'm sorry. Damn. Let's see. So other than that, though, when it comes to these films, it is sad because it's like, I remember in like 2011 when we got the first Avengers film. I think it was 2011 or 2012.
2012.
And yeah, 2012. And they started releasing like film schedules for like new movies and like new, new worlds and new, like, just a lot of new films and things that were going on in Hollywood. And I remember like legitimately getting excited. Like, I can't wait to see this. I don't have that. I haven't had that feeling in years. And not just for Marvel and not just for DC, but just in Hollywood, just for Hollywood in general. And
Yep.
I think, we've talked about this on the stream before, but I really do think that it is more of a Hollywood fatigue that a lot of people are experiencing. But what do you guys think? Why do you feel like this? You look at this list, and for the most part, people just kind of nope out. They get a headache and they go, "No, it's not for me."
I mean, we've gotten to a point where they just phone it in. The writing, the production, the acting, it's all just kind of like it's very clear that the mentality is like this is going to sell no matter what because of the brand behind it or the name behind it. And people have given up on it. Like we've gotten too many sequels or follow-ups or whatever, where we've kind of just they've screwed us over and people are sick of it. But unfortunately, in the same respect, as an audience, we supported too many of these blockbuster type films without supporting other things. And that's led to a lot of the good stuff either not getting greenlit or it's going straight to streaming or, it's just kind of fallen by the wayside. So, if you think something looks good, you got to go support it in the theater if it gets released in the theater.
That is a good point. I remember watching Extraction 2 this year. I don't know if it came out this year, but I remember watching Extraction 2 and I was like, dude, I would love to go see this in the film or like in the cinema, right? I'd love to go see this in a movie theater and go support it, but I have to watch it, at home, which is fine, which I think a lot more people are doing now. But films have proven that, like, if you give them something that they want to see, like Top Gun Maverick or Into the Spider-Verse or like, whatever it is, they will come out in droves, $1 billion, they'll make billions of dollars for these films. So I still think people want to go to the cinema. I was listening to a podcast earlier today and someone was saying like, oh, well, COVID killed cinema and COVID killed the movie theater. And I was like, I think if anything, Hollywood did that because you see people still going to the cinema when they want to, when they know something's good. But when they don't, they're just going to stay at home and maybe turn it on streaming. But what do you guys think about that? Do you think that the theaters are going to be in trouble in 2024 if something doesn't happen?
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of things. One, I do think the theaters are going to be in trouble in 2024. I think it's the quality of the films we're getting, but also I think we're in for a tough financial year in 2024.
Yeah.
Not going to focus on that for this stream, but I will say I do think COVID played a role because it forced studios to find ways to get their projects out. And they leaned so heavily into video on demand or streaming services and doing this quick release window. This whole it's in theaters for 45 days and then coming here. And if it doesn't perform well, it's going to get to you even faster. It's almost like audiences trained studios and how to release their films instead of studios just having an actual plan for releasing their film.
Yeah,
Drew, what do you think about theaters?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, Josh brought up a great point. It's with the streaming, the almost instant streaming, it's pretty much taking away the reason to go to the theaters. If you're people just know it's going to be on Amazon in, let's say, a month, matter of weeks now.
Not even, man.
It's like,
sometimes 2 weeks.
It's insane, and it's like because we can remember back in the day, if we went to go see a movie in a theater, it'd be at least 6 months before we got it on VHS or DVD. And now it's like for how quickly things go to streaming, it's like, why should I bother going to a theater now? Why?
Yeah.
And what's funny is like the more films that I've seen actually in the theater this year were all Fathom events. So like my money went to a lot of Fathom event stuff, which are Die Hard, Indiana Jones, all of the Miyazaki films, Lord of the Rings. They re-released those in theaters, and I was first in line because I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to go see these in the theaters again. So I don't know, man. It's like you said, when you have that at your disposal, when the streaming services have made it so easy for you to just nope out on the theaters and just it'll be out in 2 weeks. What's the point, right? And then even
Well,
DC tried to do that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, what makes Fathom unique and cool is that people like us who have grown up with films that we only saw on VHS or DVD, like say Indiana Jones or Batman or Star Trek, whatever, and we're given an opportunity to finally see it in theater. Yeah, absolutely, I'll be there in theater, spending $20, $30, $40 a ticket to watch that movie. Absolutely. But films like this today, it's like, do I want to spend $20 to go see Godzilla versus Kong part 2 or 3? No, it's not happening.
Yeah.
And I'm going to add to that.
Absolutely.
If you're someone that likes going to the film and your drawback isn't even necessarily the quality of the movie, but just the cost of going to the films, check and see if your theater has like a membership thing that they do. And the reason I say that is for A-List, and I will preach this until the cows come home because it's such a freaking good deal. I pay $25 a month and I can see 3 movies a week for free. Plus I get discounts on concession stands or additional tickets, whatever I do. So, like when you're paying $20 to go see a movie versus getting 12 movies within a month for $20.
Yeah.
I mean,
the only thing that I will say about that is that Hollywood will be producing much less content in 2024. So it still may behoove of you to get one of those passes. But there was an article recently that came out that said that this time last year, there were like 74 movies in production. But this year, it's only 40. So it's almost half of what it was. And so, I don't know.
A lot of that has to do with the strikes. Like, you're going to end up getting, hopefully they're smart and they'll kind of pace themselves and spread some of their stuff out even into 2025. But you're probably going to get roughly the same amount of releases as you typically get within a year. It's just going to be like backloaded for the year.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a part of me that was like, I almost wonder if that's going to make things better. Like if it's half the product or half the content, but it's better made or it's taken more seriously, like, or it takes its time in production, I would prefer that. I don't need 100 films to come out every year. Like I would actually prefer maybe a little bit less with better quality. But I don't know. For another $2, Derpy, dude, thank you so much. He says, hi, Josh. Hi, Josh.
What's up, Derpy? Thank you for the $1.99. Shots to you, brother.
Shots to you, man. Yeah. Shot. Jaeger bombs. Well, thank you, Otis. This is very kind. I enjoyed my favorite comic book streamer all year long. I hope that's me. I hope that's us. But hail to you.
It's Wes.
That's true. Actually, no, that's probably a good point.
I'm joking.
Rudy, good evening to you, my man. And Derpy for another $2. Oh my goodness, you were crazy, my man. Thank you. He says, Drew, what's up? Autocorrect be gone. It's 2024. Hell yeah, Derpy.
Bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back. What's up? Well, hello, Nosferatu. Yeah, we got a couple otters on the stream tonight. Look at that. So, all that being said, though, in terms of Hollywood for next year, for 2024, what I'm very interested to see, though, is how all of these films that they've made within the past, 2 to 3 years, that have this kind of overarching theme of what happened in 2020, they are going to age so poorly when they come out in 2024 and 2025, and we are noticing the same fucking stereotypical pattern or storytelling or characterization, and we are going to be so sick of it by 2025 that people are going to be like, fuck Hollywood. Like they're going to be so done with that shit. Do you guys feel like we're going to see more of this doubling down because they have so much stuff backlogged from 2020 and 2021 with, elections, riots, social commentary on all this racial, stuff that's been going on within the country and whatnot. yeah, do you guys see that happening with the releases in 2024 and 2025?
I think in 2025 we'll see we'll see when the worm is turned with the films. But for next year,
Yeah.
I think we're going to be seeing all the films that they couldn't stop after the worm started turning. Like, oh shit, we got to stop this. Nope, we're almost done. Fuck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're going to see in 2024 a lot of these films that they're going to wish they would have rewritten.
Mhm. Josh, do you
Agreed.
have a take necessarily?
Sorry, I was yawning.
you're
Yeah,
good.
no, I'm with.
I know I'm
Drew.
boring. It's
I think 2024. No, sorry.
No, you've had a long week.
I think Drew's right.
You've had a long week.
It's been a week.
Yeah.
2024 is going to be a lot of the same, unfortunately. So, like, if you have high expectations for 2024, lower them. But I think you might have a few good ones slip through. They're already kind of restructuring things, some studios and films to get better writers in to try to correct stuff. As much as they want to preach what they do preach, at the end of the day, these studios are businesses, and the people at the tops of them are. The film industry is very cutthroat when it comes to money, and when they're making good money, it's very easy for them to go and preach what they want to preach. But the moment they're not making money, which they haven't for a few years now, things get a little serious, and they're going to course correct as quickly as possible. But
Yeah.
I think for the most part, it's going to be more of the same.
It's so interesting. That's such a great point. I feel like when things are going very well in our economy, when things are going, well in our world, like in our ecosystem, in our habitat, whatever you want to call it, Hollywood tends to then put a lot of money towards these things that they are like, we're activists now, right? We're not storytellers anymore. And they tend to go towards what they want to what they want to preach or what they want to talk about. But when because you look at how our country was in this kind of disparate time during 9/11, and the Lord of the Rings films were coming out during that time. Granted, they were being made in 1999, but you had this like hopeful, optimistic, brotherly, sisterly, family type film that was like, good against evil, light versus dark. This like fantastical film set of these beautifully made 3 films that are epics come out at some of the worst moments in our history of like when we were the most saddened. Like something had happened on American soil in 2001 that we could have never seen happen, and we got started in a war that has been for the past 20 years, that we've been in, and that we will still probably have to be in for a while, but it was just such a dark time that these films that were released were like so beautiful. And I wonder if it's like the opposite is like when everything is really good here, we get shit films, but then when things are really bad, we get like beautiful cinema. I don't know. I don't know if that's the actuality or anything.
I don't know if you saw the poll, but there was a poll recently from, like, given out to college kids where like I think it was like between 10 to 20% of the kids believe in Osama bin Laden, and it just shows you just how far removed we are from September 11th to now.
Oh my God. Well, it
Like
also
they
does-
wait.
Believe in
They believe-
Osama bin Laden beliefs.
Okay, well,
like what do you say?
Yeah.
What do you say to something like that, where it's like, Drew, you and I have been in country, and then like we've seen what happens.
The three of us, we lived through September 11th. We lived through this, and
Yeah.
it's like this is 20 years ago, and it's got to realize, holy shit, these kids have no clue what the hell they're talking about.
No.
I mean, let's keep in mind these are the same kids that when we hit that like anniversary of the Titanic, they were like, "What? The Titanic was real?" Yeah.
It's like, oh no.
As Drew says, fix yourself, and while you're at it, educate yourself.
Yes.
Educate and
I don't
fix
know.
yourself.
Absolutely.
Hard times make good cinema. You can't deny that. Hey,
Look at the 70s, 1970s, great cinema, in my opinion.
Yep.
And that our time made that a beautiful cinema.
yeah. Otis says, I like 32 flavors of Nick Weiser, MVP Wes, and for the surprise Nerdette, I found MVP on a review of Big Game. Yeah, I loved doing that review with Nick Weiser. That was a lot of fun. So glad you found me, Otis. Yeah, man, I'm glad to hear that. Nerdy girl, there she is. She says, "Happy New Year, guys. Here's to a great 2024." Amen. Great to see you, nerdy girl. So yeah, I think that unfortunately we will see more of the same in 2024, and it's not really gonna change for another year until we see the movies that are being produced right now, until those come out. But
And I'm sure these studios have their PR departments getting statements ready to go when these movies bomb right now.
oh yeah. But and like if they start pulling a 2016 bullshit, like, well, it was because the male, white cis het males didn't come out and support the film, like all the races didn't come out to see. It's like, dude, come on. Or when they start blaming stuff on COVID, and it's like, we are 3 years away from that, my man. Like, come on. Do better.
The Bros did not do well in theaters because of all of those bigots that didn't go see it. Because it was the bestest ever in ever best.
You can't even get through the full sentence. How much did they pay you, Josh? Come on, they paid you good
real
money
or gay money
or gay sex. I don't know.
Negative. We will pay you 1 million rainbow dollars to support this film.
Ooh,
what does that equal to? Hugs and kisses.
So no monetary value. Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of this. Trump, pandemic, lots of that, but. Hey, Lady Marine, Happy New Year to you. Ere Semper Fi, thank you for being here. Yeah, no, Bros was a nightmare, but hey, it was made for you, Josh. So, at least you got a movie that was made for
you.
Oh, well. Now, before we get to our next topic, which is actually a film, like I said, for all of you crazy cats in there that are that are watching live, I do have to shill once again and say, if you guys are interested, please go over to Maximus Prime 40K and go subscribe to the newest channel that I have just started recently. 17 videos up so far. You guys can introduce yourself to the Warhammer 40K universe before the Warhammer show comes out, and it'll be a channel strictly devoted to Warhammer lore, Warhammer history, books, novels, comics, gameplay, so like tabletop gameplay, tactics, all that good stuff. If that is something you are looking for, go check that out. So I wanted to ask you guys, and I'll start with Drew here. What has been your best part of 2023 and the worst part of 2023? And it could be personal or it could be pop culture related.
Well, I've got a few things that are great about 2023 for me. First, I would say for me was launching my first successful self-published Kickstarter.
Hell yeah.
Another one
launching
was
and fulfilling.
Launching and fulfilling. Launching, finalizing, fulfilling, all of it. Yeah, doing all that right now. And the other one is all the writing projects I got from Marat Michaels. I think I'm up in number 6 right now at this point. Most are coming out next year. I just got a thank you message from Marat actually a few minutes ago saying, "Hey man, I want to thank you for everything you've done for me for next year, for this year. Let's get ready for next year." I'm like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. Another one was meeting you guys at Dallas Fan Expo. Honestly, I know I put you guys many times, but in chat, seriously, Dallas Fan Expo was honestly the best convention experience I ever had in my life. Like I had never had so much fun before in my life.
Hell yeah. I keep thinking that was last summer, but no, that was this summer. That was summer 2023. That dinner was so much damn fun.
Yes.
I had such a blast. So
that Saturday was a blast. Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was really cool. So
and also the other last thing was watching the movie Demons in theater with the music performed live by the band Goblin, who actually did the music for the film. That was awesome.
That's sick. I remember you sent some photos to us of that. That is a very cool experience. That's really rad.
Worst part, probably working some of the conventions. Some of them weren't that good.
Oh,
Yeah, due to people and circumstances that made them some of the worst that ever worked this year.
oh my God, that bad, eh?
Yes. Yeah.
Damn. Shoot, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Well,
Yeah, it happens.
I like how your best and your worst experiences were at conventions this year.
That's how it goes a lot of times, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Any other worsts, or you think that was probably it?
That was the worst. Honestly, just those. Woof, I didn't want to go through those again.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Joshy Poo, what were some of your best and worst moments of 2024? Like I said, personal or just pop culture, anything you can think of.
For sure. I had to switch mics, so if I sound a little tinny, apologies. Clearly, best and worst was Bros getting released in movie theaters, and then
Of
Bros
course.
bombing at the box office.
Oh, yeah.
What happened? No, I'm gonna kind of echo Drew, and I'm gonna say Dallas Fan Expo is definitely one of the best. It's one of the highlights for me. And just like I've kind of expressed this to you guys, but I'm genuinely consider you some of my best friends, and I love just the time we get to spend together, even if it's on this. But if we get to hang out in person, it's even better. But you guys are just awesome. Not only is it fun to hang out with you, but you're both and Aaron and Kyle, just incredible people. It's the type of people you want to have in your life, supportive. So just the relationships we've built has been nice, and I'll even extend it to some of the other YouTube family that I've got out there. So Zach's for me, Roman, and then Wes has been around for years, so that guy. But no, it's nice.
Yes, we have to mention him, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, look, even though I had my retarded entry or intro coming into this, like, there's no other way I'd rather spend my night than hanging out with the people that I consider my closest friends, which is you guys. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna have to be right back because I get a tissue and I have something in my eye real quick, but so.
I'm sentimental for a reason, guys. It's my time of the month. Leave me alone. As far as other good stuff, shoot, I don't know, man. I mean, I launched my channel. That's pretty fucking awesome,
That is pretty dope. You did do that this year. Hell yeah.
It's been a good 6 months trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing and still don't know, so that rocks.
Yeah.
But
hey, you got out of your old job and started a brand new job.
That's right there, yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah.
I don't want to murder people anymore, so good for society.
Yeah. Your old job as a hitman of murdering people, so it's probably good that you're not doing that anymore.
We weren't going to talk about my old job.
Oh,
so.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
your secret identity.
My secret.
But yeah, that's rad, man. No, I agree with all of those. Any worsts? Any comic books or movies that you saw that you wanted to rip your hair out?
I mean, plenty. The good thing is since I didn't really cover comics this year, any of the times that we had a shitty comic, I was like, well, not fucking reading that again. And kind of just got amused every Friday night when I listened to y'all being like, God, this fucking book. And I'm like, suckers. Yeah, as far as something that I did cover that I wanted to just completely just like, I questioned self-deletion was Secret Invasion. That was by far. It's bad.
God.
It's bad. It's not like, well, no, it made me angry. It just bad.
It's on multiple levels. It assassinates like multiple things about the MCU, and just what they've created. And it was just poorly done. Like it wasn't well written or directed or anything.
I would argue it was well written, and then the director came in and decided that despite not being a writer, he was going to rewrite the scripts and do whatever he wanted.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like if you gave a high schooler the chance to film something and let them film it, Secret Invasion. But like not even the kid that's in film class that has an aptitude to do well. It's like No, the one that's over sitting in the corner picking his nose, and you're like, why is this retard in this class? I'm like, well, he just needs a credit, so like, come on. Sorry.
Why did he just pick his nose and then eat the booger that he like the booger eater in class? That's who they gave it to.
The biggest sin of Secret Invasion to me is Nick Fury. What they have done to Nick Fury, the character himself, since the Captain Marvel film, has been completely inexcusable and deplorable. I'm really trying to understand what I'm trying to understand what audience wants to see this badass character taken down a few notches. He's actually not a badass. He was actually a paper pusher. Oh, and his eye was actually taken out by a cat. I don't understand what joy there is in that, unless you don't like the character Nick Fury and want to see him taken down a few notches, and he's just a walking punchline.
Yeah, I don't get this like deconstruction of characters that it's like, oh, we're not even gonna make them cool anymore. But you know who we're gonna make cool is like Amelia Clark's character. She's cool, and it's like,
she wasn't
why?
cool, man. Like
Amelia Clark is 5'0", 110 pounds, soaking wet after a full meal.
She could barely look over the steering wheel of the cars, and there's nothing intimidating about her.
There was one cool character in that entire series, and it was Olivia Colman. And it's because she's like gutting scrolls right and left, chopping off their fingers, shooting people without asking questions. She was what Nick Fury should have been.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, thankfully I dodged a bullet with that one. You know what's funny is I don't watch the shows, but Josh does. But I read the bad comics, but you don't. So it's almost kind of like, little it's like we both equal out.
We're there for each other.
Yeah. But I think Drew just takes the brunt of the load, and he just fucking watches everything and reads everything. He does it all.
I am that guy who has all the hope in the world that things will get better. I have that perpetual hope that people will learn from each other, the creators will learn from their mistakes and get better. But yep, inevitably I turn out being Charlie Brown with Lucy with the football, and it's just like, gotcha again.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, isn't that why we all started these channels? Like, isn't that why we all talk about comic books and movies and stuff? It's like the reason why I got on here 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago now, was because like I legitimately thought that there could be a difference that could be made by like adding my voice to the conversation, that we could have discussions and begin to start to address some of the things within the comic industry, within the film industry, within just pop culture in general, to start like turning the tide and saying like, let's get back to like some of these things that we love, right? And it just feels like they either know that we exist and they don't acknowledge any of our points, or that the powers that be just refuse to acknowledge that we, have a voice or anything. But yeah, I think even what's his name? Your boy Zach, even he has said that when he first started his channel, it was to point out the shit to start telling people, this is how we can fix this, or like, this is shit, we need to do this instead. But now it's just a documentation of a downfall. It's, which is unfortunate, but whereas like Drew, like you said, you're kind of doing this to be like, we can fix things can get better. We're doing this because we're offering solutions. But for some channels, it's like, this is just documenting the cultural demise that has been going on for the past decade,
Yeah.
But to kind of round out our conversation here, I will say I will echo your sentiments and say that my best moments of 2023 were absolutely the meetups and the conventions, and the that seriously is such a huge highlight. And it's the moments of those little weekends that we get to spend time together are so influential in my life that we only get to, like, when you really think about it, we only get to spend a few hours together in person, and yet those moments stick out to me more than entire swaths of other moments throughout the entire year, which mean just so much to me. And so I think they stick out more than anything. So the meetups, the conventions, the trips, the traveling, like it's just seeing each other, being with these other people that we call friends in person is so freaking rad. And I can't really say anything else that you guys haven't said already. In terms of the worst, there were some books I remember reading for our show, Drew, for Friday night, that I was literally wanting to flip my table. So thankfully, when we did our worst of the year, I got some of that aggression out. But yeah, man, there were some books this year that I legitimately like got angry at because they were so divisive, so disgustingly vile, and yeah, really, really, yeah, just really like hateful, you know. And that's really frustrating when comics are the thing that have for years been about optimism. So, which is not to say, like, you know, everyone says like, oh, why don't you be more positive? It's like, I will be positive when the comics start being more optimistic, you know, like I can only be as positive as I can with some of the shit that comes out, but
Yeah.
So those would probably be my two best and worst. But Wes, Weird Science, yeah, there's some good channels on YouTube that have some great comic book insights. What are you talking about? What are you over here? Are you talking about my worst part of my dating life?
Yeah.
It's hard to keep it pop culture relevant, but yeah, if we're talking like my personal experiences in California for, you know, for my worst moments, yeah, being called a degenerate was fun.
Yeah. I think we've both had some interesting moments in the year as
Oh
far as
God,
the
yeah,
dating aspect go.
dating is wild right now.
Yeah, I'm in the like, you know what? I'm fine being single because I don't have to put up with your bullshit. I can do what I want. I can eat what I want. If I want to eat a cheeseburger in bed, fuck you, I can.
No one will look at me wrong.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, the only one who judges me is my cat, and I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. Yeah, no, I it's been rough. A lot of my friends, I was actually just having this conversation not too long ago with a buddy of mine, and I was like, yeah, dude, honestly, the single life is pretty freaking great. Until someone comes along to prove me wrong, that, you know, like, single life isn't it. Single life has been really, really beneficial. It's gotten me closer to God, gotten me to hang out with more of my friends, you know, gotten me to indulge in more of my hobbies. But at some point, you know, as a Christian man, I do know that I do need to at some point settle down and hopefully make a family that's you know, geared towards the Lord. And so, but yeah, just no one's come along yet, so we'll see. But
for sure, I wasn't laughing at you, by the way. I was laughing at Fiend Machine's comment. Dating is too much like a post-apocalyptic future right now.
Dude, Fiend, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. It's brutal out there.
Did y'all ever watch Jersey Shore, like back when it first came out?
No, I know of it.
Okay.
I never lowered myself to watching it.
So
like Snooki, I think I remember.
Yeah. But they called
whatever.
Yeah, they called ugly girls grenades, and I was like, why? Like, how? The fact that you would stoop so low to call someone a grenade, like, come on, guys. And now it's 2023. I'm like, grenade, and it's not even the fact that someone's ugly. It's just like, yo, that's such a big red flag. Like, it's a fucking grenade. Avoid it at all costs.
Well, that was like in the early 2000s. Grenade was probably their version of red flags. Now for 2023, it's probably red flags, right? So
no, I mean, their version of grenade was just like, you're physically ugly. You're a grenade.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm saying now it's like Zaxy
Look-
Poo. Oh,
Look
how
who it
you-
is. Zaxy Poo in the chat. Good to see you, dude. Happy 2024. Happy New Year. Good to see you. So I wanted to move on because our next topic is going to actually be that was actually released today. And by the way, thank you guys again for sharing your best and the worst moments of your 2023. Because yeah, I think we can all kind of agree that that those meetups are really beneficial and really life giving more than anything. So, but yeah, so our next topic is going to be the Nerdrotic video that was just released mere hours ago, 4 hours ago. And man, is this some of Gary's best work. Hail to Gary, hail to Perry, hail to X-Ray Girl, hail to Lady G, hail to Quarter Black Garrett, all the entire Nerdrotic crew, even Melissa. It feels like they worked on this and really took their time with this one. Almost
I'll be
40
right back,
minutes.
guys. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right
Sounds
back.
good, man. Yep. Yeah, almost 40 minutes of a documentation of all of 2023 and kind of everything that happened. So I figured we could watch some of this, go through some of this, and kind of EFAP it, if you will, every frame of pause, and check it out and kind of comment where we feel we can add something to it. But yeah, I'll go ahead and play just the intro. Drew has already seen this, but this is the first time that Josh, you were seeing this. So
That is correct.
yeah. Why is it? Oh, you know what? I need to share it as a tab because we need to get audio on here.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Amateur.
Hour. All right.
Product.com.
After an abysmal 2022 for Tinseltown, we didn't think things could possibly get any worse. Then
By the way, hail to Gary. Shout out to Gary. One of the incredible voices of our time for pop culture. This dude has done so much for comic books, movies, video games, novels, whatever it is. And so if you guys don't know who that is, I'm sure everyone in the chat knows Gary at this point, but I do want to just shout out his channel as well and everything that he's been doing. And then especially for me too, in my channel, he's a huge supporter, and I really
2023 came along and said, hold my Bud Light. Race swapping historical figures, multiple historic swaps, and putting a chick in it and making her gay and lame.
Put a chicken in it, make her late again.
Get this list down to a reasonable number. But not to worry, Nerdrotic is back, and we have assembled a team with a unique set of skills to do the math and massage
Oh
the
my
anal.
God, of course they put X-Ray Girl in there with
Let's
cleavage.
go over the top 5 woke Hollywood disasters of 2023. Since this is our channel and we can do what we want,
So this first one, I forgot about this, and how he describes it is wild. I cannot believe that they were, and this is why I'm scared about Warhammer 40K, because his first one on this list is The Witcher.
we're going to start with number 6, The Witcher Season 3.
They're all searching for you, Siri. You're the key to everything, Cyrilla.
Siri! Where's the girl?
Where's Siri? He's looking for Siri. I need to find Siri. Where is Cyrilla? Have you seen Cyrilla?
Siri.
They basically make the entire show about Yennefer and Ciri, which
Because they're the
in
Witchers, right? They're the Witchers, right?
right. And like we all know that if you're watching The Witcher, you're going to watch it for Henry Cavill. Like no one's watching it for any other reason. But
For real.
Siri, are you here? We're looking for Siri.
Where the f- are you?
With the shift of the showrunner's vision, where it's an ensemble cast.
the way that Henry talks about this is so well spoken. You can tell that like underlying, he's like, they fucking cut me out of my own goddamn show, they blah blah. But how he says this is so articulate and like well spoken and very tactful, because he has to kind of hold back him saying like, yeah, they just cut me out of my own show.
Us more so than a singular lead, and the perspectives is shifted to be almost more of a Cyrilla Yennefer perspective. And so it's about finding my character's place within that vision and making sure that I do everything I can to be as faithful to the source material as possible within the structure set out for me.
After Netflix,
Oh, dude, it's killing me. It's killing me. What's going to happen to Warhammer 40K? I'm just saying, but we'll see.
I don't think so, Max. Max, I'm gonna say it right now. I could be wrong. This time next year, I'm gonna say no. I have a good feeling about Henry with Warhammer.
All right, you have more hope than I, my friend. So, but
Netflix ignored the not-so-subtle warnings from Henry Cavill prior to season 2, after ignoring the backlash from a disgruntled audience following the disappointing season 2. After that, Netflix continually ignored Henry Cavill when he internally and very publicly stated,
For me, it is all about books. I'm always of the mind if it's not.
yeah, because he was one of those guys who was playing the video games and reading the books for Witcher, to where he was like actually inputting stuff on the set, like on set. He was saying like, no, my character wouldn't do this. If you read this part of the book, or if you look at this part of the video game, like, so he was very entwined with what was going on lore wise.
It's not broken. Don't try and fix it. And I don't think they're broken.
Henry Cavill had finally had enough, and on October 13th, 2022, he left The Witcher. Then on June 29th of 2023, we all found out why. The Witcher Season 3 Part 1 featured more girl bosses than you can shake a bottle of wine at, and favorite Yasker is back, and this time, he's gay.
I am not gay. I have relationships
Oh no!
and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Oh no! Oh, it's so good. It's so damn good. Perry, you're a genius. Yeah, no, this is Henry probably saw it from a mile away and was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be part of this anymore. I'm not doing this shit anymore.
Veering so far from the novels.
Oh my gosh, dude. I think at some point Gary actually talks about the novel and how different it is from the actual show. I think it may be coming up here soon.
Incidentally, we're still waiting for the Dan Bass cover from this season, and if any Witcher fans had any doubt prior to season 3, they won't after watching it, because this is clearly Yennefer and Ciri's show, The Witch Her. Season 3 parts 1 and 2 were based on the book A Time for...
Yeah, so here's what he talks about like in terms of the book, how the book, like, you know, adaptation was done and how it differs or whatnot. So this is really interesting.
Because this is clearly Yennefer and Ciri's show, The Witch Her. Season 3 parts 1 and 2 were based on the book A Time for Contempt, which is strangely appropriate because showrunner Lauren Hissrich and her patriarchy-smashing on-crack team of writers clearly have contempt for the lore, men in general, and The Witcher, who in Season 3 parts 1 and 2 appears on screen in less than 25% of his own show.
Dude, less than 25%. And I even remember... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that's about the same amount of time you see Batman in the movie Batman Returns. About 25% or less in film.
Really?
Yeah.
See, because I remember watching season 1 and being like, my body is ready, you know, injected into my veins. And I had read the first Witcher book in preparation. And I just remember watching the show and just kept thinking like, okay, when is Witcher going to show up? Like, he's in the show. But even that first season, I was like, I kind of expected something totally different. And he just kept removing him from the show as time went on. And I don't think it clearly wasn't a budgetary decision, because, you know, they still utilized him, but they were just writing him out of his own show. Self-sabotage.
When Henry Cavill's Witcher does appear on screen, he's sitting down and talking, sitting next to beds, dancing, or asking for Ciri.
Where's Ciri?
The only monster he fights on his own is made out of fleshy girl bits with detached heads that look like testicles, which is probably some intersectional feminist allegory for the subjugation of women. To be fair, that argument can be made for the rest of the episode, all of season 3, parts 1 and 2, all of season 2, and hell, season 1. The Witcher does have one more battle, a beach off with Vilgefort, which sidelines him for the final 2 episodes. And Henry Cavill, possibly the best casting choice for a fictional character in a Hollywood production in recent memory, because he played the Witcher games, read the Witcher books, and respected the Witcher lore, is unceremoniously saved by a woman in his final skirmish over a girl getting her doll stolen. And it should be no surprise that The Witcher lost 30% of its audience from season 2 to season 3, part 1, and then lost another 30% between season 3, part 1 and season 3, part 2.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see, like all this stuff, I had no idea about these Witcher stats. Like, I knew that the 3rd season had released, but I had no clue that it was this bad, man. So,
but the critics loved it.
Of course they did. 95%. But yeah, still, I mean, 56%. That's still fairly high. I would think that this would be in like the 30s, right? Like Doctor Who is in the 20s, I think, for the Christmas special or whatever the newest one they did. Yeah, I don't know,
But I
man.
mean, with comics, there are people who just consume things and don't think about what they're reading or watching. They
absolutely.
They just look at it like, oh, that was fun. Just don't even analyze it at all.
Right.
And that's 56% right there.
You would think that even the people who are writing reviews would be the ones to analyze stuff, but I mean, when we look at reviews that are on Rotten Tomatoes, that you go on, any type of Marvel film, a lot of the viewers' reviews are just like amazing. There's no actual critique. It's not like, oh, the cinematography was so well done, or like, oh, they used this type of color balance, and I really like the palette of how they like. No, it's not that. It's just this was the best thing ever. So I don't actually think they're, like you said, Drew, I don't think they're actually bringing any critical thinking to this.
No.
And unsurprisingly, the audience scores cratered on Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic.
Ooh, okay, that makes more sense. Never mind. Wow. 22%. Okay, that tracks. That makes much more sense. Whew.
Critic. All this happened despite Lauren Hissrich begging the fans to come back after Henry Cavill left and throwing his replacement, Liam Hemsworth, under the bus with a billboard that says, yes, he's still Geralt in season 3, and then retweeting it.
Imagine having to be like, yes, Superman is in our movie. It's called Superman. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Ugh.
You're trying to, it's like, as you see, it's having their cake and eating it too. Just trying to have it both ways. They want a virtue signal with a girl boss, with all this girl boss shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, write out Henry Cavill, but say like, no, but Henry Cavill's still in the thing. It's like, no, you can't have it both ways. What are you going to do here? Do you want this to be about Henry Cavill's character, or do you want this to be about the girl bosses?
Exactly. Like, they know that their pull is Henry Cavill because men love to watch him. Well, men want to be him, and girls want to watch him, and also, be with him. But they know that that's their pull. And yet they will only kind of tease him to make your mind think, oh yeah, I'm watching Henry Cavill. But in all actuality, you're just, like you said, Drew, you're getting girl boss the show with uninteresting characters that no one wants to follow. So, but yeah, this is so fucking condescending. The Witcher Netflix Twitter posting their what do you call it? Their marketing scheme to just say, just in case you need a reminder, like sarcastically being condescending, like fuck off. Yes, he's still Geralt in season 3. Like you wouldn't even need to say that if your show was good and if it had Geralt as your lead role, but of course he's not.
But even real quick, like last thing we're stopping, but like if he is in it for so little time in season 2, why would you want to go back and watch the season 3? When you know he's probably not going to be in it for that much at all in the first place. 25% or less.
Yeah, and then when they do season 4, it's like, okay, the Hemsworth brother is going to be in it now, so it's like it's not going to be Henry. So the Hemsworth guy is going to be in it, but will he be in it more now? I mean, who's even going to be watching it now? Because 30% went down from season 1 to 2, and then another 30% from 2 to 3. So I was like, well, there goes 60% of the people that were your fans. Yeah. So, before we get back to this real quick, Lane Kramer for $5. What's up, Lane? Good to see you, man. And hey, Happy New Year. He says, man, this week my 70 up mom got me to watch season 1 of The Crown. Now my normal thing, or not my normal thing, but had good writing characters. Proves good writing equals engaging product. Amen, Lane. I couldn't agree more, man. Have you guys seen The Crown?
So I've talked about The Crown. I can't remember what stream it was, but I was praising it following season 5, I believe. And someone gave me a lot of shit for it, and I was like, fuck, I won't bring that up again. Hands down, on a technical level, one of the best television series ever made. The writing is excellent. Like it's consistently good. It never dips. There are times where it feels a little slow because you're kind of building to a theme. But just a very deep introspective look at these characters, what their life is like, what the world is like. I will say I do think the earlier seasons are better than the later seasons, only because it was a different time. And I think the royal family gets a lot of scrutiny today in the decisions they make, why they do things a certain way. And watching this show gives you a lot of insight into why they operate the way they operate, how they operate, and how much of it has kind of been left out of their hands. And there's a lot of references throughout the series about it's not about you, it's about the crown. So it's not about what your desires are, what your wants are. You are the mantle, and it's what this mantle upholds and represents. That is what you are now. So your personal feelings, your relationship, your husband, sorry. But it's a terrific show. Yes, Zach, there actually is an episode, I think in season 2, where there are boobs.
Yeah, my favorite.
Yeah, because Princess Margaret, she was with a really famous photographer for years, and he did nude photography. So
okay,
yeah, but I'll put it this way: there's a reason why it's won as many writing and television awards as it has consistently.
Yeah, man, this sounds incredible. Can we add that to our list of cherry popped or whatever you want to call it? I want to watch that now. Damn, I'm going to put that in front of everything.
Well, speaking of well-written shows, Max, have you watched Mad Men yet at all? With the
No, haven't watched that.
To your list. Need to add Mad Men to your list. You're gonna love it.
All right. Isn't that like 9 seasons though? That's a commitment, my man.
No. It's only like I think 6 or 7 seasons. It's not that many.
All right. Okay.
It's full seasons though. Like it's like a full 20-something episodes, I believe. It's not like here's your 13 episodes for the season and thanks.
Oh yeah. Like Mando, it's like 6 episodes or something, and it's like, oh, okay.
But but every episode matters in this show. I'll say that.
Yeah. And we have the wonderful JK here. She's asking a great question to you, Josh, and says, but is it as good as Wakanda Forever?
Look, I will answer this with a serious answer. There's a lot that I love about Wakanda Forever. I think it's a great exploration of grief with certain characters, but there are plenty of problems with Wakanda Forever. I don't think there's a lot of problems with The Crown, other than the fact of you saying, I don't know if it's my cup of tea because it's a little slow. If you don't like exploring characters and taking your time with characters, it's probably not the show for you. That being said, my dad, who is not a movie or TV guy, like I got my parents to watch The Crown and he loved it. So,
damn, that's awesome. Well, Lane, thank you for the super chat. Truly, man, it means a lot. And thank you for the great topic of discussion. I will now have to add Crown to my list. That is dope. And I think there are a few actors that are in The Crown, a few cast members that ended up in Vikings, in later seasons in Vikings. And Vikings is one of my favorite shows of all time. So, I mean, Vikings is definitely not historically accurate or proficient in terms of its costume designing or its storytelling, but I still just have so much fun with it, and it's something rare where I really haven't seen anything like it before. So
yeah, at least they won't take a historically accurate person and make him a black woman. Oh, wait a second, they did.
Oh, wait a second, Netflix did that with Vikings Valhalla. Oh wait, yeah.
Oh man,
the History Channel show Vikings did not do that, however.
Yeah.
But then once Netflix got a hold of Vikings Valhalla, they were like, "Oh, let's put a chick in it and make her black." So,
it makes sense for the area.
Yes, Jarl Håkon, or Håkon. It was either Håkon or Håkon. But yeah, Håkonsson is a very well-renowned king. Or Håkon is a very well-renowned king, and then Håkon's son was his latter, family members. But yeah, really, really good show. Vikings Valhalla, not so much. So great, great point. Good writing will always keep people watching over special effects and CGI. Dude, I always hear that like Buffy CGI sometimes like does not hold up. You look at something like Blade, which is not the best writing in the world, but like that CGI is really rough. And and I would gladly watch those over something like Rings of Power, which is like 80% CGI. It really, yeah, CGI in the early 2000s was meant to as a tool to kind of help, and now it's used as a
Everything.
crutch.
Yeah.
It's a crutch to just do everything, and you don't get a lot of art that way, and it costs way more than practical, which is really unfortunate as well.
And that's
So,
what makes films from, like the 70s and 80s like so great. Like I brought up before, like films like The Blues Brothers, where the city of Chicago was a character. Going to those different cities was a character, like different streets. It's like it felt like every location was special. But with CGI locations, like what Zack Snyder will do, everything just looks fake, unrealistic, and just not unique or special. But it's they got to get back to that.
yeah, absolutely. Do you guys mind hanging tight for 1 second? I'm going to use the restroom real quick, and I shall return. But yeah, if you guys want to, Zax, I loved Norseman, but unfortunately, is one of those films that people just did not show up for it. But yeah, if you guys want to talk about Norseman, or if you guys want to talk about the fact that Blade is JK's favorite Marvel movie, hell yeah, JK. Still one of the most epic intro scenes of a superhero character in potentially any Marvel movie. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. That dance blood scene is pretty dope. But yeah, discuss. I shall return shortly.
I don't know what we're supposed to discuss.
I'll
Discuss
say,
anything. You guys run a live stream, a show. You guys can talk for 30 seconds, right?
Sure, I'm not here to do work. I'm here to add quippy gay comments. Thank you very much.
I'm just here to look pretty. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's what I pay you the big bucks for. So, all right. I'll be right back.
I'll echo the sentiments about Blade real quick, that intro, because I've said it before, but that the opening to that film, it reminds me of it. If you're reading an EC comics, like the Vault of Horror, Tales from the Crypt, that's how they typically go. That's how the story would typically go. But then it makes that twist when Blade comes in. That's when the EC comics story ends, the superhero story starts. I like that. How you're giving one thing, but then it makes that change right there.
Yeah, no, Blade was definitely a good start and well ahead of its time. And there, we had that period where people. I think the reason we got such a good run of even some superhero films was you had people working on the projects that were passionate about the projects. They loved and respected the source materials, and they were trying to honor them. And we've moved away from that to people thinking that they're better than the source material, and they're clearly not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's amazing how many of these series, like characters will we'll get certain stories, but then we jump 50 to 60 years to the current stories now, or just whatever they want it to be. It's like you guys just skipped decades of material for your uninteresting story, or whatever is being portrayed, which is uninteresting.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at a couple of these. Oh, he's back. He's back. Shh. Talking about it. I'm just gonna address some of these comments real quick. Lighthouse was a masterpiece. I actually still have not seen that. It just looked a little too offbeat for me. But
wow, even
I
saw
wrong.
that, Josh.
Yeah.
Wow. It's something. It's an art film. Yeah. But.
I think I told Max. I don't know if I told Drew. I did watch Saltburn like a week ago. That was interesting. That was
Saltburn. What was that one about?
It's like a suspense thriller horror type thing, but it moves at a snail's pace, and it's more about like how uncomfortable can we make you. And it kind of is like the lead character is obsessed with another character, but are they really, or is there something else going on? But it's it pushed some limits in a not great way. Like,
yeah, sometimes you take a risk and it works out great, and other times you take a risk and it bombs. And yeah, it has to be right place, right time, right people. Like, it's so tricky sometimes with when you take those risks with some of those indie films. So Well, let's get back to some of this. We'll finish Witcher, and then I want to see what you say about Gary's number 4, Josh, because that actually ended up being Secret Invasion. So let's play the rest of Gary's Witcher review.
It from the Witcher account, and the pride of Poland is turned into a fanfic intersectional feminist fever dream reflecting the Los Angeles that the writers live in today.
Oh my god. This just looks like generic cosplay fantasy theater, local theater production. Like, this looks so bad.
Yeah. One of the things, especially with a lot of these shows that are kind of like throwback to time or old school, it's missing. They're all missing that atmosphere that makes it feel like it's actually olden days. Even the costumes, they just look like we found like the closest thing we could find at H&M that could pass for what you could wear back then. So there you go.
Yeah.
None of it looks genuine. None of it comes across as genuine at all.
Yeah, and homegirl, doing her booty dancing,
Hell yeah. Wouldn't you be a little bit more modest in old, like, whatever century this is? Well, it's actually fantasy, so who knows? Maybe they were twerking in fantasy times. That's what I want to ask. That's what I'm asking myself right now as well, Salty. Yeah. Hey, at least we're not watching. We're not looking at Wheel of Time though. All right, let's get back to this.
Recently, Witcher author Andrei Sapkowski came out and admitted that Netflix never listened to him. That's obvious, but don't feel bad. They did
exactly what you were saying earlier, Josh, how so many of these writers come into this thinking, oh, we know how to do the books, or we know how to do the show. It's fine. And then the writer of the books literally comes on set and is like, hey, I don't think this is right. And they're just like, shh, you don't know. You're not here. You're not part of this. And it's like, okay, all right. I guess I don't have a say. So
they didn't listen to Henry Cavill.
But I do like that they made the logo of The Witcher a pile of shit. So that is funny.
Oh, I thought that was soft serve ice cream. I'm kidding.
I mean, whatever. It's a Rorschach test. So apparently that's what you see.
Henry Cavill or the fans, and now they have a dead show. Number 5, the Doctor Who 60th anniversary special.
So this was pretty horrendous. I watched a lot of these clips for the Doctor Who special, and the whole thing about making Davros this like Nazi, like what's his new getup? Yeah, they just made him an SS guy, and it's like, wow, how original and stunning and brave, you morons. Instead of like the actual original character. Gary goes into this in much better depth than I can. They chastise the old Doctor Who for being male presenting, just pathetic fucking pandering stuff that like has no place within the series. So I won't talk about this for the sake of time, because I want to see what Josh has to say about Secret Invasion. But yeah, the Doctor Who segment of this was very well done. So cheers to Gary and the team. Yeah, FRTD. It's definitely not Doctor Who. That's for sure. All right, Josh. Let me know. When I need to pause it, or I'll pause it intermittently, and we'll see if what he has to say is right, or if you disagree with anything. Let me know.
Number 4, Secret Invasion.
Yo, gamble. Somebody here. It's no time to gamble. You want to know what are these scars?
God damn it.
Oh,
God
there it is,
damn.
Drew. Your favorite part of Captain Marvel.
God damn it. They took the
Oh no, you're roboting.
and just shows it's like, oh fuck, I gotta know what happened here. And you see this shit. It's like, fuck, I want nothing to do with this anymore. I'm done. Fuck this.
Yeah. Plus, okay, this is what I don't understand. Like, I've been scratched by my cat before. It would scratch you, right? I don't think it would leave a scar and take your eyesight.
It's not a cat, Max. Come on.
Oh, it's a flurkin.
Flurkin.
Flurk. I forgot that it was a flurkin.
Yeah, no, this was a this was a shitty plot line. Thankfully, they don't really discuss it or deal with it in Secret Invasion, but Jesus.
Yeah.
It's still shit.
What started out as just another abysmal and forgettable D+ show turned into unforgettable character assassination and the very definition of the
Oh, I love that.
You know what this makes me think of? The old SNL, like, "Hi, I'm Hans, and I'm Franz, and we're
And I'm Franz, and they
Pump
have the big
you up."
Yeah. Pump you up. Dude, but look at how like because she's so tiny, the arm itself is like ripped, but it's still small because it has to like fit her body. But like it just you're right, it looks so fake. They would have actually been better if they put a synthetic arm around her actual arm than CGI.
You brought up earlier, Max. They're trying to make a 5'0" woman who can barely lift an iPod look like a badass, and it doesn't work.
It doesn't. And look, you don't need to actually like have her have a ripped arm like this. And I will use Amy Acker from Angel. Max, close your ears because it's spoilers. But when Amy Acker becomes Illyria and she backhands a character and they fly through a wall despite the fact that she's like 80 pounds soaking wet, it was way more believable than this. So,
all right, I put my earpiece back in. Yeah. And you know what's so interesting about Emilia Clarke is like I know she's a good actress, and I've seen her in like other things where she's charming and she's likable and she's fun and she's bubbly, and they keep casting her in these roles that are completely wrong for her, where she like doesn't emote. She has to be this like hardcore badass the whole time, and she doesn't actually get to utilize her strengths as an actress. So it makes her look bad at her job.
What's crazy is the start of her character in the series. The series was not great, and it started a little rough, but it just progressively got way worse as each episode went on. But the start for her was actually a good start. She was kind of like the younger, like, I'm going to rebel against my father. I don't agree with what he's doing. But they made a clear point to kind of associate that she was wrong in her opinions. And then by episode 3, it was like, we're going to abandon everything and we're going to make her the GOAT. And it's like, fuck.
Oh, no. Of course.
Because as we all know, we don't have enough of those in Marvel. We don't have enough of those.
No.
None.
Of course not. Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's just funny because like I love how Kevin Feige wants to double down still. He's still just like, yeah, we need more. It's like, okay. Keep losing money then.
Yeah.
But what were you going to say though, Josh?
Oh, fuck. I don't even remember. We're good.
Okay. She just needs to stick to writing comics. She needs to go back to writing comics, which is where she's
no.
And
what? I remember I think one of my very first videos on this channel was Emilia Clarke's Mother of Madness, and I tore it to absolute shreds. That was one of the most abysmal comics I've ever read to this day. I think the only thing that beats it is Fire and Ice. They may be on the same level. It's that bad. But yes, it was terrible. It is funny that these, celebrities are like, yeah, let's write a comic. Let's make a comic. It's like, Whoopi Goldberg, I'm going to make a comic. Jason Sandberg, I'm going to write a comic. It's like,
because as we all know, they've learned apparently anyone can write a comic. So yeah.
Apparently, yeah. When it's really just like the actor gives a ghostwriter like a concept, and then that writer actually just writes the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll continue on with this. I do think it is interesting though that you were saying, Josh, that the show just got progressively worse. And I think that's what's so frustrating about a lot of these TV shows. I remember when I was watching Rings of Power, like it just kept like more plot holes were being introduced. The characters kept getting terrible. The dialogue kept getting worse. Things just progressively had this like downtrend, and it makes you not want. There's a reason why only 30% or 37% of people finished the Rings of Power. I think out of the entire group of people that started it, because like I think that's a a constant with a lot of these shows is that people don't finish them because they just continually get worse and worse as the show goes on. But yeah, let's play more of this bad boy.
The MCU. If it wasn't bad enough that we learned in Captain Marvel that Nick Fury lost his eye to a kitty cat and named the Avengers after Carol Danvers' test plane.
I forgot about this. So I legitimately forgot that they named the Avengers, quote unquote, after her plane. Because she's the bestest ever. Oh, okay. Sorry. We'll keep going.
Plane. Well, Disney Marvel wasn't done destroying his character. The Nick Fury from the comics was a veteran of foreign wars and a super spy. The Secret Invasion comic features the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the Avengers, and the Inhumans. The Nick Fury in the MCU is a pencil-pushing fraud.
When I came here in 1995, you were just a bench woman and nobody in a dumpy field office in S.H.I.E.L.D.
You got any more abuse?
God damn
Oh,
it.
good.
God,
Yeah,
God
let's
damn it.
let's
I'm sorry, Max. I take Lord's name in vain. It just stuff like that pisses me off. Taking
absolutely, as it
one of the
should.
most one of the most historic characters in Marvel history, who was the baddest of badasses, and turning him into a fucking punchline. Honestly, you're turning you turn Marvel Comics, the MCU, into a series of parody films now at this point. They're jokes. They're walking punchlines now. Nothing is serious at this point after this shit, and I can't. I won't see another film because of this shit. I can't.
The only comment I will make about the whole pencil pusher type thing is it wasn't that he was bad at his job. It was just that he was newer to S.H.I.E.L.D., which I will give somewhat of a pass for. Of like, okay, you've got to work your way up, and some people hated this. What they're kind of about to get into, I think what they're about to get into, is the fact that Fury secretly used the Skrulls to his advantage throughout his career. But I'm like, that's such a Fury thing to do.
Absolutely, yes.
So the problem is fuck, what's his character's name? Talos. Talos kind of has the stance of like, you wouldn't be anywhere without us, and I don't think that's accurate. But he's emotional when he says it. So I think people put too much weight into that specifically. But they like chopped the balls off of Nick Fury in this. Like, and what made it worse is Samuel L. Jackson. This whole series, he just phoned in his performance. Like, didn't give a shit what he did. Like, it was so flat, so like uninspired. Like, it was not.
Even he knows he's collecting a paycheck.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Whatever badassness Sam Jackson's Nick Fury had up to this point is gone. You can no longer take Nick Fury, quote, one, serious, two, as a badass. Those are all gone now at this point. They're gone.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man, and it kind of brings up that question of like stupid or evil, right? Are the people that are writing Fury just dumb and they just think, yeah, that's what his character would be, right? Like that's what he would. I think he probably would say something like this, right? And they just don't know? Or are they actively trying to be like, fuck this dude, we need to raise up our other characters, and in order to do that we have to like demolish him, right?
There it is. He is the sacrificial lamb. This is the lazy Hollywood writing trope in films where it's, we got to take this cool character and just knock him down a flight of stairs. Not a peg or two, a fucking flight of stairs, make him depressed. The Jake Skywalker effect. You know, and this is what we got here with Sam Jackson. It's gotten old. It's lazy. It's tired. It's lame. They need to move beyond this lazy trope where these heroes become depressed jackasses.
Yeah. And you know, the other bad thing too is it's like we keep watching this happen with older male characters. I mean, look at Indiana Jones, and then you've got this. Yeah. And it's like you have such a chance to kind of be like, hey, you know how Liam Neeson came back out of fucking nowhere after Batman Begins and did Taken, and like it was so badass. Like, this is what we want to do for you with this character, and then they shit all over it.
Yeah, imagine they do a Taken 4 and they give him the Nick Fury you know, like
Oh,
after this. So like,
like
oh yeah, he was actually a pistol pusher in the CIA or whatever, getting coffee, and his wife was actually he's not actually the dad of the daughter. It's actually some other guy, and he actually just watched his wife get knocked up or something.
yeah,
Who knows?
so dumb, so dumb.
Name only on D Plus features a gaggle of girl bosses leading around what is now the famous Disney trope, the sad and broken legacy character. And it won't be the only one on our list. The show is a sequel to Captain Marvel without Captain Marvel that will lead into the true sequel to Captain Marvel where she was demoted in her own sequel. It also features our villain Gravik, the genocidal Skrull who wants to exterminate the human race because Nick Fury broke a promise to him when he was 9.
How was Gravik, Josh? Any
He
thoughts
was-
on him?
The driest piece of fucking toast ever. Like everything was just this level. Like it never changed.
Oh no.
yeah.
Ugh. Good. I say good sarcastically. What up, MG? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, no, Nick Fury has had his balls taken from him, and there's that clip that was used recently in a video where from Clarkson's farm, and he's like, what we have here is a scrotum with no balls. It's so funny. He's holding like cow's testicles or whatever. Yeah, that's pretty much what Nick Fury is at this point. So.
I will say I kind of hate the fact that they had Olivia Colman during the girl boss because what's her name's character, definitely a girl boss.
Sure.
Fury's wife, definitely a girl boss. Olivia
Yeah.
Colman's character is based as fuck. Like,
Really? Okay.
oh yeah, it's the
Interesting.
only when we were covering this for Roman's show, like Roman and Shield Wall, like we all pretty much agreed she was the only character that was doing what they should have been doing.
Oh wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I will never watch this show, so I
Yeah,
can't
no.
actually tell you if I agree with you or not. But
Look, I could probably pull all of her scenes from all episodes, and it's maybe 10 to 15 minutes, unfortunately.
oh wow. So yeah, she's very rarely in it. Okay.
Little shit.
Rounding out the cast, there is Nick Fury's wife, Priscilla, the queen of the Desert Skrull, who is allied with the genocidal Gravik, but she seems far more concerned with Nick Fury loving her for her true self. You picking up what I'm putting down? And in true
Oh,
MCU
no.
fashion, Ben Mendelsohn is back as Talos.
Some subtle allegory there, maybe.
Oh no, it was not subtle at all. It was very clear. It was so heavy-handed.
Oh really? Oh, I
Oh
thought
my
that.
god.
Like, oh
Dude,
wow. I didn't actually-
there's a scene where they're in their house and they're like potentially about to shoot each other, and they decide not to, and then they sit down and have a conversation. And you're talking about like high school theater. Like this was worse than high school theater. The entire scene screamed. Director said, "Say these lines, then move in this way. Take 3 steps. Turn back. Say a line. Turn the other way. Look down. Look
Oh,
up.
no,
Sigh."
yeah.
Like it just felt like that. But she's got it. She's like sitting at the table. This isn't an exaggeration. This is really how the shit went down. And she's like, maybe one day you'll be able to discover if you could truly love me.
Oh,
It's just-
stop, dude.
I swear to God, it
I
just
should have put you on
so
full screen for that because
bad.
that was a beautiful performance.
insane.
And scene.
Insane.
Yeah. Wow. So because I thought like Gary might have been joking, like because he was like, and they do this like thing about it's this allegory or something. I was like, maybe that was just something that was a joke. But so you're saying it was like legitimately they probably wrote that in there specifically to kind of.
Oh no, it was a running thread, like the thread of like, oh well, does he actually love me for me? And I'm like,
me,
bitch,
right.
he married you knowing you were a Skrull. Like fucking Nick Fury chose to marry someone. Shut the
Yes.
fuck up and get out of here.
Oh my god. We'll watch the rest of Secret Invasion and then we'll call it a night. Because I'll let the chat watch the rest of this video. It's brilliant. I just wanted to cover some of the ones that we know fairly intimately or whatnot. So
who somehow managed to get 1 million Skrulls to immigrate to Earth behind the super spy Nick Fury's back. And then he's unceremoniously killed and replaced by his much more capable daughter Gaia, played by Emilia Clarke, who manages not to change her facial expression for the entire series.
Oh my god. When they super cut it like that, you're like, oh wow. Like they legitimately did not want her to emote at all. I have to play that back. I'm sorry. And yeah.
Replaced by his much more capable daughter Gaia.
Pause.
Oh.
Go back to Talos being killed by Gravik.
Okay.
Nick Fury's back. And then he's
Was this the one?
Yes. Okay. So FYI, you've got these British. Oh, no. I guess it's Americans. No, I think it's British soldiers because that's the president's motorcade that's flipped over, but they're in England. So all these soldiers are British soldiers. They're shooting Skrulls. So they're at each other shooting, right?
Yeah.
All of this is happening with British soldiers all around. So none of the good guys are like, oh shit, Talos is getting killed. We should stop Gravik.
Oh my
And
god.
then Gravik like tries to shoot Nick Fury, who is still surrounded, and everyone's just like ignoring the shots that are taking place between two people within this huddle of soldiers, and they're all just focused on shooting this way. That's how fucking bad this is on a technical level. Like,
well, I'm looking at this guy right here in the left-hand corner. Oh, I don't think you can see my mouse, but yeah, there's a guy to the left-hand corner, but the guy with the vest, yeah. He's not even looking at what's going on behind him. Like he's not even realizing, like, oh shit, like he's killing him right now.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh good. Yeah. A lot of writers don't, I think, understand. They don't understand their own surroundings, and they have to have these like plot armor elements to just like, oh, and then this happens, but it doesn't actually make sense for the context of what is going around in the scene. There's like a whole battle going on, and yeah.
If you guys ever watch Roman of the Empire, you know that when he gets so like frustrated about something, he gets really high pitched, like his voice gets high pitched, and then he sounds like Marge. Well, he had one of those conniptions with like, I'm wanting to say this scene, that he went high pitched. He had a conniption. He like knocked over his setup, was then trying to save his setup. And then I never knew this, but what's behind him is a green screen. It's not the actual room. So that kind of like slipped down, and then one of the other panel members was like, "Hey, Roman, your garage is showing." So,
because the green screen got like knocked down. Yeah, I could see Roman doing that. By the way, shout out to Roman, love you, brother. But yeah, no, that's pretty funny. When I saw Roman at the last meetup, and yeah, whenever he gets flustered, he gets really and just kind of goes nuts.
It sounds like Marge Simpson almost.
It really does. Yeah. Love it.
Unceremoniously killed and replaced by his much more capable daughter Gaia, played by Emilia Clarke, who manages not to change her facial expression for the entire series. Then, because apparently there wasn't enough girl bosses in the MCU, we have Olivia Colman playing.
So this is where you disagree, I guess.
100%. I think anyone that watched this would probably say she was the best part and actually a good part of it.
Okay, all right.
A girl boss, but there are some men in the cast, or are they? James Rhodey Rhodes returns, played by Don Cheadle, except it's not Rhodey, it's a Skrull, and not just any Skrull.
Oh, dude, this when you get the realization that Rhodey has been a Skrull since what, Infinity War?
No, Civil War.
The show tries to imply that it's Civil War, which makes no sense.
No.
And a shit ton of people were real quick to call out that it made no sense. Yeah.
Okay.
A female Skrull.
That is such a confusing erection.
That's not all. According to series director Elise Salem, James Rhodes has been a female Skrull since Civil War, meaning James Rhodes doesn't know Tony Stark is dead. He wasn't at Tony Stark's funeral. He wasn't at the battle at the end of Infinity War. He wasn't at the battle at the end of Endgame, and he wasn't in the scene in Falcon and Winter Soldier. But he was.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do MCU stands, like how are the people who shill for the MCU, how do they explain that one? You know what I mean? Like how are they supposed to get around the fact when the writers have written this into a show that is supposedly canon, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure they found their ways. I'm sure they've gone through their hoops like Sonic to
a lot of your MCU stands were like, okay, this is where we can't get on board.
Even they were like, nah, dog. This ain't it.
On this very hospitable planet in Endgame.
This is the promise. While you work to keep my home safe, Carol Danvers and I will find you a new one.
After Nick Fury supposedly breaks the promise to the 9-year-old Defiant.
He said Nick Fury. That's pretty funny. I just noticed that. I watched the video earlier, but I just noticed he said Nick Fury.
Yeah, because it's not
Give him
Nick
a home
Fury.
grabbing-
It's fair.
Oh, it's definitely not in this show. It's Nick Fury all the way.
Yeah.
Gets angry and hatches a plot to start World War III and steal the Avengers' DNA, which was conveniently collected by the super spy Nick Fury into a single vial. And then the technically
God
advanced
damn
Skrulls
it.
who are capable of interstellar.
God damn it.
Wait, hang on a second. So wait.
No, when I explain it, it's even worse. So after Endgame, Nick Fury sent Gravik and a team of Skrulls onto the battlefield to collect the DNA of all the Avengers.
Okay.
So
And then
that
collected
little
it
vial,
in one vial.
yeah, that one vial is the DNA of all. But they got it from the battle. They didn't get it from the Avengers or the villains.
No.
They got it from the
No.
battlefield. So
Oh my
they were
God.
like, "Oh, here's blood. It's the Hulk's blood. Fuck off."
So dumb. Yeah, like they're on the battlefield and they're just like, yep, this is definitely Hulk's blood. Yep. Oh, here's Rocket Raccoon's blood. Well, no, I guess it wouldn't be Rocket because are the Guardians part of the? No, they're not part of the Avengers.
But
They just-
what Drax was there. She has Drax's arm, so
Yeah,
they
he has
knew.
Drax's arm, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
had Cole Obsidian. Like they pulled anything and everything.
Oh my God.
This whole thing was stupid.
That is so dumb. All right.
Actually,
Stellar space
Zach,
travel, but still can't find.
Zax is still in the comments. So Zax, if you have that clip, because I believe you clipped that moment of Roman like having a conniption during that one stream. If you have that, please find it and retweet it so I can tag Max. in
Oh,
it.
I'll share it. Yeah, on our stream before we leave.
Find their own home, not to mention the fact that one of them has actually been on a hospitable planet, decide to make a magical bullshit machine that will infuse them with the Avengers' DNA that was conveniently collected in a single vial. And it works so well, it passes on things like tattoos and rings. And because this is the MCU, the final showdown is not between
And rings.
Yeah.
So it literally just, oh my God. The outward appearance of whatever that person is just gets, yeah.
Nick Fury and Gravik, it's between Gaia and Gravik. Now, Gravik and Gaia as Super Skrulls possess all the powers of the Avengers, including the OP Captain Marvel. You would think they would be evenly matched despite the obvious size difference. But this is Disney Marvel, and Gaia wins easily with her masturbation arm. This makes
Oh my God. That looks so. Amelia Clark needs to be cast as something else. That's all I'm gonna. I was just about to say, this looks ridiculous, of course, but like, I mean, who's believing this?
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, they spent 6 months filming Principal for this show, and then literally went through and scrapped like 80 to 90% of it, and then spent 4 months doing reshoots.
So they did 6 months of
It
shooting.
took 6 months to film, and if like a lot of times with these shows, they try to film them like you would a film, not like a standard television show. I mean, you're starting to see this with TV more, but that's why they consider it "quote unquote" prestige TV, because you don't the way you film it and the setup and everything is different than how you typically do for films, TV shows, and films.
Right.
But 6 months, and then when you watch what they actually use, it's very clear. It was like set up, tear down, set up, tear down, set up, tear down. So 4 months of that. But the original quote unquote rumor was that this was not going to happen. She was not going to be a Super Skrull, but she was going to, as her character of Gaia, kind of become like an Abigail Brand type character and help Fury lead Sword. We should have gotten that.
Yeah.
It would have been better than
would've- Yeah, I guess. Anything would have been better than this. Not doing the show would have been better than, than doing it. So
Yeah, having Secret Invasion be an Avengers film is
Yeah.
what should have happened.
yeah, fuck yeah, dude. You know what's so funny is, and I'm just now remembering that. Remember when we were both on not Circle of Jerks. We were on what was Dawn's show where
Premature ejection.
ejection. Yeah. And I remember I was in the final round, and the question was, name a character from Secret Invasion. And I was like, I don't fucking know, a scroll? And they booted me. And I was like, that's right, though. There's scrolls in the show.
And
Oh,
I
I
was
was so
giving
mad.
you answers in the chat.
You thought that you were, but someone else had said your answer. So your
I
answer
gave
didn't
you,
help
like,
me.
3 answers.
No,
What a
didn't
hoe.
help.
What a hoe.
Did not help.
It
Oh,
did.
well. All right, let's finish this one up and then we'll call it.
Makes her the most powerful superhero and the poster child of the MCU. And it should be no surprise that Secret Invasion was the lowest.
Ooh, that's not great. That's not great. Yeah. No.
Rated Disney Marvel show on D+. So, after breaking a promise to a genocidal 9-year-old boy, getting Maria Hill killed, remaining sad and broken, all while embracing his strange.
Oh, I forgot that she died. Oh my
Yeah.
god, man, this show has everything.
Kind of love. Nick Fury fucks up and leaves behind a million angry Skrulls on a destabilized planet to go into number 3, the Marvels.
We have a
Oh boy. All right, we'll end it there because, like I said, Gary goes into the Marvels. He goes over Indiana Jones, which is, I think, probably my favorite one he talks about. Because man, what a character assassination.
Yeah.
The dishonorable mentions are pretty funny as well. He mentions Flash, Ahsoka, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And then his last one talks about just Hollywood in general and how he goes through it. I mean, it's like a well-sharpened blade, dude. He's performing surgery on what happened with Hollywood in 2023. So very well done video. Congrats to Gary for getting that bad boy out. Congrats to the whole Nerdrotic team. Like I said earlier, Lady G, X-Ray Girl, Quarter Black Garrett, and Perry Chan, and Melissa, Mrs. N. You guys are the best, and congrats on getting out a great video. So
I'm curious to see what he says about the Marvels, only because the fact that he's got it at number 3 but has Quantum Mania and dishonorable mentions.
I think so. To me, I think Quantumania would have been a worse film, but I
by
think,
far.
But I think the Marvels is just, I think the disaster, because the video is 5 woke disasters, and I think what he's trying to say is that though Marvels may have been, like Quantumania was a worse film, like
Quantum Mania is, you've got the whole daughter coming in to be like the girl boss, the I'm not a shit thing with MODOK, the fact that Jonathan Majors is now fired, like
you mentioned that,
the what ruined Kang was Quantum Mania, and then Jonathan Majors ruined it even for like.
I think in terms of the disaster of the Marvel Cinematic Universe like coming to an end was really solidified with the Marvels, because when you barely squeak past 200 million worldwide, when the Marvels can't even break 100 million domestically for a film that was $1 billion, I think that was his main reasoning for putting it there. Of course, the film is a flop, but it's also just embarrassing. And
I would still say the problem was Quantum Mania.
I think,
because I think that's like, keep in mind, Quantum Mania was pushed as like supposed to be Avengers level, and it also, I don't think it passed 300 million. I think it did 289, and it was supposed to be like the introduction of like the new Thanos. Like it just across the board just bombed. And nobody expected. Everyone thought that was going to be a huge hit, and then it completely just fucking failed. Whereas the Marvels, everyone's like, "This is a disaster." Like the first movie was terrible. Why would we go see this?
I think I'm in agreement with you in terms of like, I will definitely say that Quantumania was a worse film and did more harm to the MCU than the Marvels did, because the Marvels is just dumb. It doesn't deserve anyone's time, right? It's just badly written, badly done. It's poorly filmed. But Quantumania does something that is truly awful, where it's like everyone is like chastising and poking fun at not Hank Pym, Scott Lang. Where he's saying, like, guys, I saved the universe. And they're like, oh yeah, tell me about how you wrote your book. Just like, fuck you dumb writers, that this man who has sacrificed his life for his daughter now you guys are, oh yeah,
Max, it's not as important as assaulting police officers. Like, we got to remember that. It's not as important. as
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. No. Because she's an activist. Remember, the writer said that
right.
she was, she riles up the people in the little microverse or the quantum verse.
And
She's the activist.
She owned the Chuds by owning the king of all Chuds and telling him he's a dick, and then making him realize he really is a dick.
Yeah, she owned those Chuds, Josh, exactly. Yeah.
That dialogue is fucking horrendous.
Oh, what awful. Yeah. And then how sad is it at the fact that at the end of the film he says, I don't know what to be. Tell me what to be, right? Or you're thinking to yourself like, "Oh my god, like this character could have been something." And they just shit on him.
Think about the first Ant-Man film. This guy was a billionaire running a company and a scientist as well, if I assume. Like, what did he suddenly get fucking dumber? What the hell happened? I don't understand.
Yeah, that was Quantumania was truly a sight to be seen, which is like, I think it's a tie between Quantumania and Thor: Love and Thunder. However, I know that for you, Josh, like Thor: Love and Thunder takes the cake any day of the week. But yeah. Well, like I said, everyone go check out Gary's video. I would link it in the chat, but honestly, for my man who's got he's only a couple 100,000 away from making 1 million subs. I don't know if he necessarily needs me to plug his link in the chat, but hey, you know what? I'll do it anyway because I love the man, and just for the sake of doing my due diligence. So, and I'll most likely have to put it in the description as well whenever I get a chance. So here is Gary's video. Highly encourage you guys to watch this. It's a great end to 2023. It's nice to kind of sum everything up, wrap it all up. But I think the last thing we have on the docket tonight was just a big thank you to everyone for 2023. I will once again be a shill, and I will say, if you guys want to get into the Warhammer universe, please go check out Maximus Prime. I'm going to have a blast putting out some of these videos for you guys, and it's going to become like my new hobby, my new obsession, because the more videos I make, the more you guys get to be entwined in, well-versed within the universe, and the more I get to study and research as well, which is great for me as well. So this will be a great project and something you guys can all check out. And speaking of fantastic projects, Josh, where can we find you? Over at Pop by Culture on Tuesday evenings,
Yeah, Tuesday evenings. I have non-live videos that are going to start dropping in 2024, so that'll be fun.
Yeah,
we'll actually start getting more of like my critical takes on things. So looking forward to that, because Culture Pop is kind of meant to just be let your hair down, have a conversation type of show.
Cool.
But yeah, other than that, you typically find me being an idiot on Twitter as well. So either at John McDonald, and I'm usually on Wes's stream Saturday mornings for Thinking Critical. I'm always invading Max's man cave.
Man cave. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Whoops.
Slip of the tongue.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
And every once in a blue moon, I'll show up on Friday nights to have really hot takes and then disappear for a few months.
Hey, we loved having you on for the best of the the best and the worst of 2023 in terms of comic books. How you strategically slipped in at the last moment just to give your best, because you're positive, right? You don't like to criticize things.
Whoa.
Josh.
What do you mean I'm positive? I'm not a hoe. Calm down. Sorry, that might have crossed some lines. I go what you're saying. Yeah. I will make a commitment that for 2024 I will have a worst list.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, you better leaving us out to, because we were getting some hate mail our way, and everyone was like, "Yeah, fuck those guys," but like Josh is cool. He's fine. Everyone should be more like Josh, and everyone should be more like Drew as well. He is also one of the more positive individuals on our streams, and you keep the hope, my man. You keep the optimism, and I love it. So, and we can all find you through your Kickstarter campaign, but we can also find you on Comics Aficionados and Wes's channel, correct?
Yeah, you can find me on, if I'm not on the Aficionados, it'll be Saturday afternoon and evenings doing the best of the week with Wes. You can find me on Facebook, Dolan Waddick. You can find me on Instagram, Dolan_Waddick. I'm a comic book creator now, so you will not find me posting anything politically related at all. It'll be mostly anything comic book related I'm working on. I'll be sharing art, story ideas, and everything. That's all you'll get from me.
Nice, man. I love that.
I'm gonna go like flood his page with political shit.
No.
Everyone's gonna be like, Josh or Drew, you support this? You should no, you can't ally with Josh. Oh my god, we watched you on a stream.
It's all gonna be pro Biden.
Oh, no. Actually, you know what? That would promote his comic even more.
True.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, because if you show him that he's on the right side of history, quote unquote. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, more of those editors will give you a book. You figure.
Actually, yeah, you could get him in the mainstream. Who knows? If I mean, who wants to do that anymore?
What I would do, they would not want to be. They would not want no part of it. So, yeah.
That's the tough part. It's like even if you were to get into Hollywood or into like mainstream comic books, all the fun stuff and story ideas that you could come up with would always just be shot down.
Absolutely.
So, but
that's why I'm glad where I'm at right now, creatively working with Marat Michaels. So we're telling kick-ass stories right now, and I cannot wait for next year.
Hell yeah, dude. Sweet. Well, once again, thank you to my amazing panelists and my co-hosts that have been on tonight and throughout all of 2023. Thank you to the chat. You guys are what allows me to do this every single week. And I hope that you guys enjoy the entertainment that we bring. We truly want to bring you guys some sort of, opinions that you may not be hearing, or some commentary that you guys can enjoy and get some entertainment from. And with the videos and some of the things that we produce, I hope that we can actually give you guys a form of artwork that we're producing. So we love to commentate on the culture because we think it's so important, especially because I think we are passionate about the medium of storytelling, whether it's in movies or video games or comic books. That's what we're extremely passionate about. And that's what we hope to see in 2024, because we did not get that very much so in 2023, but hoping for better stuff. So I just can't thank you guys enough. So I appreciate y'all supporting. Go check out Maximus Prime. Go sub to that because that is going to be a really fun project for 2024. And I look forward to seeing you all there on the Maximus Prime channel. And we'll see you guys next week on our Friday show with Drew and Kyle. We'll go over more comics on Friday for, I think it'll be January 7th, I want to say, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So, or no, maybe the 5th. We'll check our dates and we'll see what we need to do. But yeah, so you guys will still get stuff from the MVP channel, but you'll also get stuff from the Maximus Prime channel. So double duty. I gotta be on twice as much now, but totally worth it. Thank you guys for a fantastic 2023, and we'll see you in 2024. Reject modernity and embrace your legacy. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks.